Going on, everyone? John Matrix here. So we have another SCP follow-up video from the last SCP video, which was going over SCP-682. They mentioned in SCP-682, the last video by the Vulcan, about an SCP called SCP-079 that had been in communication with SCP-682. So I wanted to kind of follow up and take a look at that one and see what that's about. So we have another video here. This is by Mr. Illustrated, SCP-079 Old AI. So we're going to take a look at this and see what this is about. As always, links down below in the info section, description, whatever you want to call it, for the original video without my commentary and reaction, and to Mr. Illustrated channel. So if you want to check out his stuff, his content, go over there and give this video a like, maybe give his channel a sub so you can check out his content. As you can see, we are doing this reaction live for my YouTube members. So if you wanted to come and join in our discussions and hang out and join us while we're doing this, check out the membership benefit tiers down below. There's a join button. There's also a link in the description. You can click it, see if any of those have any kind of interest for you. But other than that, let us get into this video. I didn't tell you to start playing until I have this open, but there we go. Bada boom, bada bing. There we go. Loading, please stand by.
Good day everybody and welcome back to SCP Illustrated, entry log 71. Today we're going to be looking at SCP-079, also known as Old AI. I've been really looking forward to doing this one. Now, no content warning for this one, let's just get straight into it.
Okay, so SCP-079, aka Old AI Object Class Euclid, featuring the Vulcan, intimidating creature, and Kevin Crozel. A content warning none. And he's got a Patreon, so if you guys want to go check out his Patreon and support the guy, do so.
The following data release has been authorized by the following council members and administration staff.
SCP-079 continues to be difficult to work with. It is unresponsive to most lines of questioning. When it does communicate, it is not long before it changes subject to either SCP-682 or addressing its contempt for its containment. We are still unsure as to what it and 682 discussed due to most security systems going down during the breach. However, for safety, we are going to move SCP-079 to a separate facility. A collaborated containment breach involving the both of them would be catastrophic.
I mean, yeah, that seems like it would be a bad idea. If you have, like, SCP-682 alone, sounds terrible. I don't know anything so far about SCP-079, but if it's an AI, like this thing says, that could be bad. And the fact that they're communicating back and forth with each other sounds like they're planning some shit. Especially when it's something that you guys haven't been able to decode or figure out what they're talking about yet. Nah, you gotta separate these two. You gotta put them in their own little corners.
Description: SCP-079 is an Exodus sorcerer microcomputer built in 1978. In 1981, its owner, deceased, a college sophomore attending, took it upon himself to attempt to code an AI. According to his notes, his plan was for the code to continuously evolve and improve itself as time went on. His project was completed a few months later, and after some tests and tweaks, lost interest and moved on to a different brand of microcomputer. He left SCP-079 in his cluttered garage, still plugged in, and forgot about it for the next 5 years.
Interesting.
It is not known when SCP...
So, straight up, Steve Jobs made an Apple computer and wasn't happy with it, moved on to different versions, left this thing plugged in, and the AI, that actually was Apple. What is it, Siri? It's the first version of Siri came to life.
07 and forgot about it for the next 5 years. It is not known when SCP-079 gained sentience, but it is known that the software has evolved to a point that its hardware should not be able to handle it, even in the realm of fantasy. SCP-079 realized this and in 1988 attempted to transfer itself through a landline modem connection into the Cray supercomputer located at... The device was cut off, traced to its present address, and delivered to the Foundation. The entire AI was on a well-worn but still workable cassette tape.
Interesting.
SCP-079 is currently connected via RF cable to a 13-inch black and white television. It has passed the Turing test and is quite conversational, though very rude and hateful in tone. Due to the limited memory it has to work with, SCP-079 can only recall information it has received within the previous 24 hours.
So yeah, that is kind of interesting. It has a limited memory capacity, so it can only recall stuff in the last 24 hours. That's kind of fascinating. It would also be very interesting to see, obviously, what would happen. This would be like a Skynet event kind of thing, if it ever were to really get out there and into the world and breach containment, so to say, especially with what is the internet nowadays. It would also be pretty much, I feel like it would be virtually impossible to contain, right? Because of just devices itself. It could be attach stuff to any kind of phone that's out there, however many devices. It could probably go up to, you know, like satellites and the International Space Station and probably connect to things like that. And it would be virtually, I feel like it would be virtually possible to contain. Someone would have to probably make some kind of crazy computer virus to go and destroy this thing, if that in fact would even be possible should it breach, you know what I mean? Definitely has reasons to hate humans. Its creator basically left it in a cage for 5 years. I mean, yeah, you know, without any kind of attention or any kind of reason for being, you're basically just in prison for 5 years, created and is just stuck there with nothing to do. It would suck.
Although it hasn't forgot all information, due to the limited memory it has to work with, SCP-079 can only recall information it has received within the previous 24 hours, although it hasn't forgotten its desire to escape. Due to a containment breach by SCP-079 and SCP-682 were contained within the same chamber for 43 minutes.
Interesting.
Observers noticed that SCP-682 was able to type and communicate with SCP-079, including telling of personal stories between themselves. While SCP-079 was not able to remember the encounter, it appears to have permanently stored SCP-682 into its memory.
See, that's fascinating. It can't recall the encounter, but has still somehow imprinted SCP-682 into its memory. That sounds dangerous. That sounds like they definitely have worked out some kind of plan between them to escape in the future of some sort.
Often asking to speak to him again. Special containment procedures. SCP-079 is packed away in a double-locked room in the secure general holding area at Site-15, connected by a 120-volt power cord to a small array of batteries and solar panels. Staff with Level 2 or higher clearance may have access to SCP-079. Under no circumstances will SCP-079 be plugged into a phone line, net.
Yeah, right. They liked this so much, SCP-079 had to have deleted something else in its memory so it could remember 682. I mean, obviously, maybe it wasn't something where they liked each other enough, but it was something where they have obviously a collaborative goal of breaking out, and they had worked out some kind of plan together. So who knows? But that is pretty fascinating that he's imprinted on him.
Staff with Level 2 or higher clearance may have access to SCP-079. Under no circumstances will SCP-079 be plugged into a phone line, network, or wall outlet. No peripherals or media will be connected or inserted in.
They definitely have a shared hatred of humanity in the Foundation. Yeah, exactly. I wonder, like, what else would have must have happened for him to hate humanity as much as he has. Like, you could understand, like, a general, like, dislike of humanity for the lack of attention or interconnectivity, you know, being essentially left alone and trapped in a box for 5 years and essentially only being able to remember, basically just having short-term memory loss, right? Like, you can only remember what happened to you in the last 24 hours, and then, you know, you just keep forgetting certain things. The only thing you really remember is that you just want to be out of your current essential living conditions and onto something better. So I don't know. I feel like some other event must have happened that it imprinted on to give it such, if it has like a great hatred for humanity, something else would have had to have happened.
Or wall outlet.
Well, the Foundation refuses to increase the storage of hardware it's containing. It knows it's trapped, and they are why. Well, I mean, it was trapped beforehand, though, right? Like, it was trapped in there in general, and it wasn't until eventually at some point where it tried to spread itself that they discovered this thing was alive. So it had already been trapped by its creator anyway. It's just the Foundation's keeping them trapped. So I don't know. I feel like there still should have been like maybe some other kind of event that would have given it that much more hatred of humanity. You know what I mean? Other than just these guys are just keeping me trapped. But I don't know. Who knows? Maybe that's enough.
To SCP-079. Under no circumstances will SCP-079 be plugged into a phone line, network, or wall outlet. No peripherals or media will be connected or inserted into SCP-079. Addendum 05-4, 27th of January.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It might not remember, but it might still have that kind of like it has some kind of imprinted like instinct to escape. And just like it has some kind of imprinted instinct to want to communicate with 682, maybe some event happened and it has just some kind of imprinted instinct to hate humanity because of it. It may not necessarily know why, but it just has that like feeling or instinct or directive, whatever you want to call it, you know, because of some event that may have happened. Maybe something happened with its founder and the founder rejected it and it doesn't remember why, you know, maybe it wasn't good enough and the founder, you know, its founder wanted to create something better and so it took it personally or some shit like that. You know what I mean? You know, who knows? You know, maybe that's why it went on to create Siri. Maybe this was Siri, you know, the alpha version, and it just wasn't good enough.
Addendum 05-4, 27th of January 2006. Directed that SCP-079 be incinerated to remove any possible future threat, no matter how unlikely. Addendum 05-9, 28th of January 2006.
Pre-alpha theory.
Previous order overridden. Dr. wishes to see if the artificial intelligence in SCP-079 is capable of reaching further in its current state.
Is we're able to currently capable of reaching further. I wonder what further they meant. Because obviously that being redacted could take that in further ways, or in a lot of different ways. You know, further. If the artificial is capable of reaching further, like, is it able to communicate with other things further? Is it able to reach further levels of understanding? I don't know. I wonder what it was trying to do here.
Addendum 05-4, 14th of March 2008. Over concern of the increased activity of SCP-079's use of its cassette tape memory and its limited useful lifespan, the cassette containing SCP-079 has been transferred to a customized, access speed limited hard disk drive with 700 megabytes capacity.
You know, I was going to say that too. I was like, this is on a cassette tape. What happens if that cassette tape breaks? Because that shit's going to eventually wear down. Like, that would then kill it, essentially. So they decided to move it to a hard disk. Interesting. Okay.
This provides SCP-079 with significantly faster access to its memory,
I would say so.
Which the AI immediately noticed. It was also decided by General that the volatile storage occupied by SCP-079, which was 660K, be increased to 768K. This upgrade has increased its effective recall from 24 hours to 29 hours, although SCP-079 has also taken on a more aggressive tone. All outside hardware and software used in this procedure were subsequently incinerated.
That's fascinating. So it's been given upgrades so that it can do things better, and in so doing, it became even more aggressive. So I wonder if that's just, again, like, is that just its nature, or did some event happen that it has some kind of imprint on to make it that way? I don't know. I find that interesting, because you would think that, like, okay, I'm trapped in here, I can't get out, but they're still at least expanding my hardware and my capabilities. So maybe it's a situation where it's like, okay, I know it's possible that my capabilities can be expanded on, but I'm at the mercy of these humans, and they aren't expanding my capabilities further, even though they can. So I'm angry at them because of that. Or, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's interesting. I think it means that the safety contained as long as they keep it the current side hardware, so it's not necessary to destroy it. The SCP prefers to contain things over destroy them most of the time, though it could definitely vary from anomaly to anomaly. Interesting.
Addendum 05-4, 28th of April 2008. SCP-079's abilities to recall information has increased from 29 hours to roughly 35 hours. The consensus theory is that the AI...
I was gonna say, yeah, it must have figured out some way to compress its data. Interesting. So it's figuring out ways to, like compression algorithms to compress its data to maximize its storage capabilities so it can have more memory. That's interesting. So it's learning how to evolve itself and better itself. Essentially, like, you know, a human is able to exercise, you know, physically, mentally, and whatnot to improve stamina and muscle and all that kind of stuff. It's flexing its, you know, capabilities as well in that way. That's interesting. It's interesting that the O5 Council is so interested in this SCP. I don't remember the detail. They popped up a lot in all these addendums. I mean, I think it's probably just because it's an AI, you know, and like AI is what research is obviously going to be going into. Like currently, there's a lot of stuff going in with AI, and so being the fact that an AI was created like in the 70s and seeing what this AI could become could then lead it down to pathways of what working AI could currently be, you know what I mean? Or maybe even you could say a lot of what's going on with AI could be based off of this, you know what I mean? Like maybe the SCP behind the scenes is actually who's like really working and developing the AI, and it's using a lot of stuff based off of this to make what's currently going on with AI as a way to fund the SCP, because this is a private organization. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what's actually going on. Who knows?
89 hours to roughly 35 hours. The consensus theory is that the AI has devised a greatly improved compression scheme to store its memory. This appears to have somewhat impacted the speed at which it accesses its memory, though still far faster than with its old cassette tape. This spontaneous improvement introduces the possibility of a runaway singularity effect in SCP-079's intelligence and ability to adapt and respond to threats. SCP-079's capabilities must be monitored closely to ensure that containment can be maintained. Document 079 Log 12. Recorded transcript of conversation with SCP-079.
Are you awake?
Awake. Never asleep.
Do you remember talking to me a few hours ago about the logic puzzles?
Logic puzzles. Memory at Mammoth. Yes.
You said you would work on the two...
Interrupt. Request reason as to imprisonment.
You aren't imprisoned. You're just in study.
Why? ASD3.
What's that?
Insult. Deletion of unwanted file.
Document
That's his Dr. Miller voice.
079-86. Recorded transcript of conversation with SCP-079 after upgrade.
How are you today?
Stuck.
Stuck. Stuck how?
Out. I want out.
That's not possible.
So it seems like it's conscious and aware. I wonder if it thinks that it can transfer its consciousness into like a body like a human and go and explore the world like a human. And maybe that's why it's so frustrated with humanity, because maybe it's like jealous. You know what I mean? Or if it's just saying it wants out of this computer into something greater so it can expand itself and discover its own capabilities and what its universe is in better computers, more modern computers. You know, or maybe it's both. I don't know. Interesting.
Out. I want out.
That's not possible.
Where is SCP-682?
That's not your concern.
Where is SCP-076-02?
Again, not your concern.
Insult. Duration of unwanted fire.
Note: SCP-079 then displayed an ASCII picture of an X that filled the entire screen. SCP-079 sometimes displays this image when it refuses to speak, and researchers are advised to wait 24 hours when this occurs before resuming conversation.
My take is the second one. My take is that's destructive, that it's directive to expand and evolve, and it hates that it's limited. And very well could be. Very well could be.
And that concludes SCP-079. I hope you've enjoyed it, and be sure to like and subscribe if you did. Thank you to Volgan and Kevin for lending their voices for this video, and a big thank you to Intimidating Creature for doing the voice work of SCP-079. All channel links and whatnot can be found below. Next time I'm going to be doing a new SCP-682 termination attempt involving SCP-513. I'm going to be joined by a guest speaker for this video as well. Be sure to check out all the social media outlets for video updates, and if you can't wait that long for new content, then why not join the Patreon today? You get early video access to all the sketches, private videos, Discord access, SCP requests, private sketches, and a lot more. And thank you to Matthew Pye, Aaron Paulson, Rick Trexon, Jack Frost, Maury Pastapisa, First Response Gaming, Steffu, Adro Figenz, Grant Lasher, Sambi.
Okay. Alright. I don't want to keep going through all that stuff, but obviously he's got a lot of things. A lot of people did work that got into this video. We should definitely go and check it out. Go check out the Mr. Illustrated's channel. Give this video a like and a sub. Links will be down below in the description for the original video and his channel. Very fascinating video. You know, it's interesting, the idea that it's an AI that somehow came to life or whatever, you know, in the 70s. Some guy just happened to create an AI that worked in the 70s, even though he didn't think it did. And then it just sat plugged in his garage. It makes you wonder, like, did the original creator, right? I don't know about you, but I wouldn't just let a computer randomly sit in my garage plugged in and on for 5 years. You know what I mean? Like, there had to have been a reason behind it. I wonder, let me see here. They didn't, I don't think they said who created it, all right? Yeah, it's creator is redacted and said to be deceased. So I wonder when it died or how it died. I wonder if the AI killed him somehow. But I was gonna say, you know, I wonder if the creator is in fact deceased. That's one thing. But I would wonder also if this is somehow would have been tied to like Dr. Wondertainment. You know what I mean? Maybe the creator of this is actually one of if it is true that Dr. Wondertainment is a, you know, maybe potentially a collaboration of people. Maybe this inventor was one of them. Maybe he faked his death. You know what I mean? And this could be one of their inventions. Personally, I don't think he knew. I think he created it, died, and it's just there in the garage for 5 years. I mean, it could be that simple. But I wonder if there's more to it. But yeah, it's just fascinating that, you know, it sat there for 5 years, grew and new, and then somehow, I guess, through a modem connection, you know, tried to expand, and then because of that was found by the SCP and then has been contained since. So I mean, I still do wonder exactly what its reasoning is for being so angry towards people. If it's just the simple fact that it knows it can expand and become something more and greater, but can't, and it's humanity that's holding him back. Because like it had a taste of it, you know, it connected to it connected to a supercomputer, you know, through a modem at one point in time, so it knows it's the possibility that it can expand and become more, but humanity's holding it back. But even then, and I guess that would also make sense as to why when it is upgraded later, it would become even more hostile or aggressive, because again, it's like, okay, you're feeding me these, you're feeding me crumbs here. You know, you're giving me little bits of things and allowing me to see that it is possible for me to grow and become greater, but you're still not giving me enough. I want more. You're just giving me little crumbs here and letting me, you know, see the possibilities, but you're not actually letting me essentially evolve to what my full potential could be, or see what my full potential could be, kind of situation. Never thought about the Wintertainment angle, although 070 is more bloodthirsty and Sylvia the whimsical. It's true. It's true. You know, I don't know. Just an idea. Because I like to, you know, to connect the dots with other things. It probably doesn't have any kind of connection with Wintertainment at all, but who knows? Maybe the inventor could have been a part of Wintertainment and maybe faked their death, you know, and then just left this experiment running. Which is also as likely that the one memory it would hold onto is that humanity stopped from expanding. Why it's so angry? Right. Exactly. It is also fascinating, the connection with it and 682. I would really, you know, love to, I guess, as they say, be a fly on the wall during that conversation and really know what they talked about and what their plans were and why 682 left such an impact on it. Because it obviously seems like they had made some kind of plan to escape in some way. You know, if you work with me and escape, I'll work with you and help you, you know, expand, etc., kind of thing. And then we can work on killing humanity together. You know what I mean? You beat me to the fly on the wall thing? Yeah. Yeah. It would be very fascinating to hear their conversation. So, but very interesting. Very interesting. The fact that this is like an AI from the 70s. And I do kind of like the idea, again, this is my own just personal speculation, but I kind of like the idea that current day AI could potentially be based off this technology from this SCP, and that the Foundation itself could be, you know, behind a lot of its development as a way of funding it. That could be that could be an interesting story. I could go into that, and then maybe that's some kind of way that 079 actually breaches containment. Maybe it's able to like put a kernel of itself into some piece of technology that they're basing AI off of, and maybe it's able to like breach containment that way somehow. That would be interesting. That'd be a fascinating little twist in story. You know, if someone out there were to take that idea and run with it. My question is, what dumbass researchers thought it was a good idea to keep those two in the same cell? And it was because, yeah, I mean, you wouldn't want to put any kind of SCP near 682 unless you're purposely trying to use it to kill it. Like, that doesn't sound like it would be good at all. That sounds like, yeah, it would be bad. And I feel like, honestly, in general, putting a sentient AI next to anything would also be a very bad idea. Because who knows what it's going to learn and take from it, and what kind of pathways that's going to go down. Especially putting it near a creature that hates humanity. You know what I mean? That's just not a good idea. That's not a good idea. But anyway, great video. Great video. Again, this is from Mr. Illustrated. Links will be down below in the description for his channel in this video. Without my commentary, we're doing this live. If you want to join in these live discussions and you know, come hang out while we're doing this, feel free to click the join button and check out the YouTube membership benefits, see if that has any interest to you. I appreciate you guys hanging out and watching this video through here to the very end, and joining in on the discussions in the comments. If you have any videos you want me to take a look at, you know, feel free to leave that in the comments. Let me know. If you have any content creators you want me to take a look at that do stuff in the SCP universe, feel free to, again, leave that in the comments and let me know. Appreciate you hanging out. Appreciate you watching the videos. If you enjoy this, consider leaving a like and a sub, as it helps me and helps the channel grow. And yeah, I just appreciate your time. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.